Welcome to this video. In this video I want to talk about the most important ABAP editor settings you can make as an ABAP developer. So here we are right now in the ABAP editor. So for example, with a sample program set_test. And based on this sample program, I would like to show and display you the most important settings you can make to fasten your ABAP development. So first of all, we're going into the change mode, and basically it doesn't matter what this code basically does. We would like to focus on utilities and settings. So you can also open this up in the class builder and the function builder. So class builder SE24, function builder SE37, or within the object navigator, so the SE80. So here we are right now in the ABAP editor and settings. So here you have the ability to make user specific settings for the ABAP editor. So I think one of the most important one is that you are working with the source code based editor. So there are, for example, ways also if you want to use the text based editor. So there, for example, let's go and open this up once again. Then here we can see the text based editor. And why don't I recommend to use this one? Because you don't have the options to, or the possibility to open up the options within here, because there you can, for example, use and work with ABAP code templates. They are really great. So we will change this quickly back, because here within the bottom right corner there we can open up the code templates, and there you can maintain code templates to use them really quickly to speed up the ABAP development. So for example, here we would like to use this code template block and then up, for example. This is one of the great advantages of ABAP code templates. So I recommend using the source code based editor. Then within here you have the options to regarding enhancement implementations, and I recommend to display all to see what kind of enhancements are there any changes, and so on. I would also recommend to display all syntax checks. So basically, if you are doing the syntax check with this button or Control and F2, you can do a syntax check. And then at the bottom there all the syntax errors, the warnings will be shown. And I recommend to display all syntax errors to see what kind of errors are there. And I also recommend to also display package errors from syntax check of source. Of course you have to turn on the package check itself. So this is useful regarding the syntax check. And furthermore, you have the possibility to display messages from the extended program check in the editor. So here, if you set the focus and then hit the F1 key, then you will get some detailed information. So if you, for example, will open up the SLIN transaction, then you have the ABAP program extended syntax check, where you can execute extended syntax check. And if you select this, then you have the possibility to skip the initial screen and to display at the bottom of the editor the messages from the extended syntax check. This might be useful in your case. And if you want to, you can also flag error messages in source code based editor. So if you select this, then you will directly see in the line of the statement where there is an error in the left area, based on this icon, that there is an error, and you don't have to double click on the shown error. You directly see that there is an error. It's quite useful if you want this. So if we're moving to the pretty printer, you should definitely use the pretty printer, because as I've shown and mentioned you in a different video based on the 12 worst ABAP mistakes you can make, the pretty printer is one of the tools to avoid ABAP mistakes. So you can indent your code, and you can also convert uppercase, lowercase based on on keywords. So ABAP statements, ABAP keywords, or you directly and in general would like to lowercase or uppercase your code, what you prefer. I personally prefer the setting to indent my code and to convert the ABAP keywords to uppercase. If you are using the ABAP editor in split screen, so if we're opening up the ABAP split screen, ABAP editor split screen, it's the transaction SE39. This is a great transaction to compare two programs. So here basically you can compare programs, function modules, classes, interfaces, and type groups. So you basically select the option that you would like to compare, and then you type in your ABAP object, and then you click on the display. And what is really great, you have the possibility to go into the I'm locking it currently, but if I am going to the display mode, you have also the possibility to make directly changes within here after comparing those two sources. This is really great to have two source codes next to each other, and in the split screen there you can rearrange the window. So for example, now it's on horizontal, you can also do it vertical so that it's shown like this. What do you prefer? I prefer horizontal, or what do you like to, you can change the comparison options. So for example, you can ignore indentations, you can ignore comments, you can ignore the case, or if you want to, you can use the split screen editor for version management. I personally use the ABAP Editor split screen to compare different options. You can also compare different systems if you want to. Really useful based on RFC destination. This tool is, in my case, really great. So what other settings are there based on the split screen debugging? It's not really a setting, it's an option that you can use, for example, for debugging. For example, you would like to debug the background user SAP _WFRT. It's in SAP S/4HANA, the user that is executing in background some work items, workflows that might be useful. If you want to, you can also debugging external requests on terminal IDs. Here you can also get some info on classic debugger, and if you want to, you can also activate the session breakpoint active immediately. And on the top pattern, there you have a lot of settings based on the pattern, so based on function modules and methods. So here, for example, you can, when you're using a pattern for function modules, that the actual parameter is the same as the formal parameter. That is quite useful. And if you want to, you can generate exceptions without others. If you want to, you can also, for exception classes, generate call function with try and try, and you can do exactly the same settings for methods. What I highly recommend and highlight is functioning writing style for call methods, or directly if I turn it off. Here we are in this sample program, and here we have one variable, an object variable for a class, basically having one method summing up to numbers, and we would like to call this method. So one way is to execute the pattern, then selecting ABAP objects pattern, and here we would like to call this method. So we can just simply type this in and then execute, and here we can see that it is called with the ABAP statement called method. And you can also do with a functional style. So if I am doing exactly the same on patterns, functioning writing style for call method, then once again with pattern ABAP objects patterns, once again exactly the same. Here we can see that it's now being called without the call method, directly with the object minus and then this bracket, and then with the parentheses. Yeah, so that's, I think, the modern style to call methods. And yeah, basically, once again, set up your ABAP editor settings that you like, that makes you faster, that help you in your daily work in ABAP development. And hit the like button, add a comment if you want to, and do not forget to subscribe this great YouTube channel. Thank you very much for your amazing support, and then see you in the next video.